Hello, I'm NeoGets and welcome to Solar 2. Now this is a game that I've played on Android but not on the computer again. So let's jump in and see what it's like on the computer. Now, I'm not brilliant at this game on Android. I've sort of got to a point and then I keep failing. So fingers crossed this doesn't go too badly, and I'm not sure why Skype's just beeped when it should be disabled. I'm very sorry if that came through on the audio. So, welcome to the universe. As usual, left stick, as in most games, moves you around. You can also play this using the keyboard, but I like to play most games that have controller support with the controller. So, let's continue onwards. You get information about what you are. This upgrades. Underneath the mass, you've got an experience bar, which is sort of how much you weigh, and that needs to fill up in order to get somewhere. So here's the menu. We've got a distance travelled, which rapidly increases, and various sort of objective-y things you can do. It's quite cool. One thing. Go back. Apparently hitting the start menu a lot actually uses things on that menu. So we've done that. Let's see what it tells us to do next. Try smashing hard into the other asteroid. Oops. Helps not to miss. There we go. Mass 4. Woo! Just follow the arrows. Yes. Each arrow has a different icon around it, and those correspond to different types of missions. And eventually I will actually manage to grow my asteroid, and the distance between the two prongs of the arrows is actually how far away that mission is. So you can sort of tell which missions you're nearest to if you're just aiming to have to travel the shortest distance. And as you get used to it, the different icons do mean different types of missions. There's some missions that I've managed to complete on Android, others that I just haven't got anywhere near completing. But let's get ourselves up to small planet status, then I will head towards one of the missions and see what it does. There we go, you can abort missions according to the helpful tips. There we go. So as you can see, we have now turned into a small planet and caught an asteroid. So there we go. You sort of don't want them to crash into you anymore at this point. See, they lose mass, which isn't great. But if you get near enough to an asteroid, you catch them in your gravitational field, and they do this, which is really cool. So you move alongside them, and then press A to absorb the smallest one you've got around you. Apparently B to absorb all of them. There we go. They're sort of useful if things are trying to attack you and you've got asteroids around you. They can hit the asteroids instead, because there are enemies in this game. Other planets with life get a bit hostile. Planets without life aren't hostile at all, but systems that have life in them are quite hostile. There we go. So let's just tap A and we don't lose all of them. So it's very simple how you start at this point, but then I sort of start to struggle once I turn into a solar system. I'm really not very good at that at all. You don't want the asteroids to hit other asteroids, because that can break them, which then means, of course, you can't absorb that one because it's been smashed. There we go. But it's not too bad, so let's see if we can work out where the guides for missions went to. I'm not sure why we've lost those, so let's keep absorbing things. Come on, there we go, and keep exploring, and as we explore we should slowly begin to come across other planets. There we go, there's one happily absorbing this asteroid field, but we're going to join in and steal some of them. Oops. That cost us some points. You've got to be very careful about not getting hit by the asteroids. But this one, as it's a similar planet to us, isn't hostile. You can quite easily tell the hostile ones by the little ships flying around them. There we go. Those little red marks are hostile. White ones tend to be neutral, and I don't believe we can interact with this because this is another planet. No, it just bounced off us. But once we turn into a star, if we get enough mass, we can then pick up other planets in our gravitational field. Come on, thank you. If I get nearer this one that was over here, you should be able to see that. That's a star in the middle. Lots of evil ships that will shoot at me and make me lose mass. The white line is a shield, so there's life on that planet. Because right now I'm not a life planet yet, I'm just a small planet. But once you get life, you start to get those shields, which then give you the ships. They are highly frustrating, because if you're trying to catch asteroids, the ships will actually shoot the asteroids to destroy them, because the people on the planets don't like the asteroids floating around. So you've got to be very careful about which planets pick up asteroids at that point. It's awkward, to say the least, to try and get the correct balance of what you're picking up. And that's sort of where I've been failing. Some of the missions are just about surviving as you travel through this world. Those ones I'm not too bad at, but there's missions that involve taking out other stars and things. Those I'm really not good at. I've not yet successfully completed one where I have to take out another planet. Which is a shame. I've got close. There we go. We've got life. I think that's a timer now, the next experience bar. We just have to wait for life to evolve. So that's going to happily do its own thing, that bar, while I can continue expanding my planet if I want to. But as I said, I'm really not sure why I've lost the missions. So maybe if I hit the back button. There we go. Right, so my mission is currently just to be growing. There we go, I've got a shield. Which also means I've got my own ship. As you can see, it's a different colour. But if I'm not careful, they will destroy this asteroid before I get the chance to use it. They have a nasty habit of doing that. So now let's head towards one of these mission types. I'm going to head towards the one up and see what that brings us. So those two arrow points are getting nearer to each other, which tells us we're nearly there. Try and avoid crashes, and there we go. Okay, so the white ones are after me. Defend myself. So step one is to try and get... Ow. Damn it, they killed my life. Try and get an asteroid to look after me. See what I can do that way. And just avoid getting hit, really. If you move too far away, you do actually abort the missions sometimes, which is frustrating. I've accidentally aborted several missions, but I can't remember if all types can do that. But my only defense is the people on my planet. I really need them in order to defend myself, but while I've got a shield, I can actually crash into the enemy and it will just damage the shield, which is one way to take them out. There we go. Oh, now we're no longer a life planet. So we've got to go absorb some more asteroids in order to get back up to life status. But at the same time, we're still under attack by those nomads. which is where these become quite troublesome missions, because you really have got to try and keep yourself alive on these missions, which is where I tend to fail them a lot. Have to restart the missions when you get yourself hit and die. I mean, it's only a restart, it's not a total end of game punishment, but it's enough to be highly troublesome, you know, and enough to stop me from actually winning on the mobile version. So I'm going to try and avoid much of the trouble, get myself some defense if I can, oh god, avoid some of them, and try not to run into any pesky defended solar systems while I'm at it, because the defended solar systems really can hurt. So let's get a few more things around us, absorb a couple of them, and hopefully stay alive long enough. As you can see, the little turrets sort of on me do also fire, so I have lots of ways to try and defend myself, but it's still quite difficult. So there we go, that was a mission that we have successfully completed. Now the red ones, if you ever see those, always mean that you're near a system. So if I dodge the red guy and head up, there we go, that's that planet. Those always belong to planets and systems, whereas the white ones are always just wandering around on their own. So let's try and get a bit bigger. Oops. That really doesn't help, does it? So at least it's leaving alone the asteroids I've captured, which is, oops, handy. But it's not handy when you're trying to capture asteroids and they insist on destroying them all. Which is just infuriating at times, because I want to become a star. But let's head up to the next mission type, trying not to get into too much trouble on the way. And see... oh, that's a lot of nomads. There we go. Need to exterminate a planet. Now, this is a type that I really struggle with. Oh, goodness. That was a lot more enemies than I was expecting. There we go. Let's let the shield recover a bit. Hopefully, we'll spawn a couple of new ships soon. There we go, which can help with the damaging the enemy. That's my asteroids destroyed. That's a shame. It looks like my ships are doing their part. So I'm just going to keep circling this one for the moment, letting my ships do most of the damage, and see what we can do, because as long as my shield's up, it's not too bad. But it has a lot more shields than I do. That planet. Oh. And those missiles really hurt. So, got to be careful of those, because I don't seem to be able to outrun the missiles. Oh no, there we go, we did outrun them. Let's see if it will let me pick up a couple of asteroids before I head back to the planet without aborting the mission. Or, you know, just crash into my shields. There we go, come on. Let's get back into this mission and try again to damage this planet. There we go, we've crashed into that one, which isn't too much damage we took. There we go. But we've lost one of our asteroids, but that's okay. We don't mind losing the asteroids as long as we're alive. I am definitely surviving a lot better on the PC version than I do on the tablet. On the tablet, I tend to sort of die rapidly. You know, it's not the greatest outcome, but for some reason I'm not attacking the planet. Which I don't quite know why. Let's try and take out its defences again. Yeah, I'm just not attacking the planet. So I don't know how I'm supposed to sort of take it out. Nope, crashing into it isn't exactly the best of options. That really hurt my shield. Maybe I need to pull some asteroids over or something. Whack those into it. Let's see if we can do that. Let's get a... ouch. A couple of these if we can. Do you mind not... Got to try and get some more asteroids. So I think I'm going to have to crash the asteroids into the other planet in order to damage it in a way that doesn't hurt me. But luckily you've always got the thing on screen telling you which way the planet you're trying to destroy is. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then I've whacked it myself. Well done. Let's try and get a couple more asteroids. I'm not sure how many asteroids I'm going to need to actually take out this planet. That's a bit that always... I never quite know how much health the enemy planet has. But, oh no, that one's not the one we're aiming for. That one is. Hit it. Ouch. Eat asteroids. Okay, my shield's down. Not the best of outcomes there. So yeah, really struggling at this mission. I think I'm going to abort that one. And let's try heading over to the one to the right. Because obviously that one up there, we're just not able to do yet. Oh, but you can go back to a mission at a later point and try again. I think once I'm a little higher, I'll have a lot more damage, but at the same time I think the missions scale with you. There we go, there's an audition for me. So don't touch anything on the way across. You have to follow this arrow, which slowly gets closer together so that you know you're approaching, or you can look at the distance travelled percentage, but I find it a bit easier to not... Oh good, don't worry about ships. For a moment I thought I was failing it already. Ooh. Okay, avoid everything but the ships. It is quite a distance you normally have to travel in these missions, which is why I fail them a lot. As I say, the controls are a bit harder on the touchscreen. Thank you. But not too bad overall. And I've lost hours to this game. Nope, nope. Ah! Failed. Let's head to another one of those missions. See if we can succeed this time. But, oh, yeah, that's what a complex system looks like again. Let's try and dodge that thing. Those things really hurt, so there we go. Now we are headed sort of back the way we came. This time trying to avoid the pitfall of the asteroid field. I think maybe travelling a little slower, as it does respond to how far you've moved your analog stick. So a little bit slower will hopefully enable us to dodge around the worst of the asteroid fields and actually make it this time. Ooh. All the people are abandoning me. I don't think they like it. All the crashing into other planets has obviously put them off. But that's okay, we can just slowly make it through. Now, I've never found an edge to this world. I don't know if it's like an infinite world or if it loops at some point or anything. I'm really not sure, but you get this sense of scale. Whew, that's a big system to avoid. As if you really are trawling through an infinite universe. You just don't get any sort of sense of boundaries in this game, which is just brilliant. You know, it's one of the things I really love, just the ability to just keep flying around, smashing into every asteroid that you see if you want to, you know. It's really good fun. And just another aspect of the game, because sometimes I don't feel like actually, that was a bit close, you know, completing any of the quests, but I do just feel like exploring, enjoying the beautiful background that this game has, and seeing all the different systems that you go past, you know. So there's just lots of things to do in this game, you know, and I really enjoy playing it. As much as I say, I kind of suck at it on the tablet, but PC version, I'm definitely doing a lot better. Look, let's just keep moving. Alright, I get to be the stage that whatever's happening is going to be on. Charming, that. So, I'm probably going to call this video off here, as unfortunately my internet has been very evil all day. It's took me half an hour to upload a 1-minute clip earlier, and so I'm not confident for getting a large episode up. It took me a ridiculous number of hours the other day to get the Rogue Legacy video up, even though that was a short episode. My internet this weekend is just really not behaving. I'm not sure if it's related to the bad weather. I know some network providers are having service issues because of floods in the network and things, so I'm not entirely sure what's up with that, but I'll do my best to get the episode up on time. If not, it will be up on Monday, just late, rather than, you know, not being up at all. It will be up. Oops, sorry. I do kill an awful lot of my citizens, don't I? Let's keep just getting a few more asteroids before we finish the video. See how many we can trap around us. It's all pretty. Don't you dare come too near to me, planet. Oh, absorb them. Don't want the nomads to shoot them. And there we go. But we're almost up to small star status. That is the next one. So once we do that, we get to a point where we can start actually having planets orbiting us, which is great fun because they then spawn their own ships and things, but it can be hard ensuring that a specific orbiting planet is the one picking up the asteroids. It's a bit of a juggling act, but it's good fun, you know, it's part of the challenge of the game. So let's enter this one last thing just to bring up what the quest is, and then we will... Ooh. Okay. I've never seen this before. I was going to just end the episode after finding out what the question mark was, but this is quite cool. I'm really enjoying this. It's a bit mad with all the asteroids flying at me, but wow, I've never done this before. Oh, I'm really enjoying. Whoa, 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 whoa! What are the planets up to? That's even worse than all the asteroids. Luckily, they're all on set paths as they approach, so you can just dodge them, but whew, it's kind of annoying, so I'm trying to just watch the light show. Don't, thank you. Whew. Wonder how long this is. I'm also not quite sure what the XP bar's for, because it's been fully white for a while. I haven't worked that bit out yet. Oh goodness, seriously? Ugh. I have 0 shields now. Ah! I lost my life. Ah. No! This is awful. Oh goodness, not a star. Stay away from me. I don't want to get caught by a star. No! No! Thank you. There can't be many more things for it to throw at me. Can there? Oh god, the asteroids are back. No, I don't want to turn back into an asteroid. No. Ooh. Okay. This is a little bit more active than I was expecting. Okay, we're back to planets. Don't you know I've still not recovered from the last planet one? The stars are picking up planets. Goodness. Oh. That was actually quite stressful. Goodness. I don't like that. I mean, I love it, but I've got to get my life back now. Alright, as I said, I'm going to end the episode. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.